Hey everyone, welcome to Lost Connection Tarot. My name is Benjamin Snavely, and today we'll be doing another brand new series, and this is monthly tarot guidance. This is for October, the month of October in the year 2020. Now, we're going to do a spread, a 5-card spread, based on something that I have created to kind of look at our overall makeup throughout the month. We'll be looking at our physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional selves, as well as an overall theme or message of the month that we are in. Now, as of right now, this monthly tarot guidance is for anybody and everybody that is listening. Later on, I am always willing to make different videos to accompany different groups of people, like Zodiac or astrological signs. So please leave a comment if that is something you would like to see later on in the channel. But right now, we are going to focus on our 5-card reading for the month of October in the year 2020. And I will be using my wife's deck, The Ethereal Visions by Matt Hughes. Very lovely deck. You can hear my cat right now. It wants to be part of the show. So let's go ahead and ask the cards what the month of October looks like for anybody listening to this message. The first thing that we want to do is we want to know, okay, what is a falsehood that we can let go of? It no longer serves us in the month of October. So for anybody listening, what is a falsehood that we can let go of, release, because it no longer serves us? The second card will be all about productivity and earth, and we want to look at how can we be productive in all of our physical endeavors in the month of October. So how can we be productive in all of our physical endeavors in the month of October? The third card will be our emotions, our cups or water, and that is, what message do I need to remind myself of to harmonize my emotions throughout the month? So anytime we are feeling a little bit of imbalance, rocking too much because of our emotions, we can come back to this card and we can resonate with it and sit with it, with the energy and its guidance, and that will help us harmonize our emotions in the month of October. And then the fourth card will be about our wands, fire, and it is, what does my spirit, what does my intuition, what does it urge me to face courageously this month in October? All right, so being courageous in the month of October, what does my intuition want me to face courageously? And then finally, what is the overall theme of the month of October? For anybody listening to this message, what is the overall theme? All right, so one more. Let's cut these cards. All right, a falsehood. Be productive. Harmonize our emotions. Face courageously. And the month of October. All right, so the falsehood that our mind wants us to let go of, okay, because it no longer serves us. And we got the 10 of Wands in reverse. So the 10 of Wands is all about being overburdened with life. Now, wands represent our spirit, our passion, our willpower, the entity that drives us forward, right? And the 10 would be the completion. We have received all that we have wanted. We have gone through the entire process, and now we have integrated that new passion into our life, and to such a degree that now it is part of our life. But now it's maybe no longer special or unique, because now it's just part of our daily routine, right? And that's what it means about now it's just another thing that we pay attention to. It's just another thing that we have to love and care for, like the cat. The cat at the beginning is great, right? It's hope, it's want. And I'm not saying cats are bad. Cats are great. That's why we have one, right? I love I love our cat Demon. But what I'm saying is, eventually, her needs will still and always be met. And now it's just one more thing that you need to take care of and remember and put your focus and energy on. And that takes away your time and your energy. Nothing bad, because it's what you chose to do. Now, with it reversed, you are saying, like, I don't have to. Nothing is set in stone. Okay? So at any time, with it reversed, at any time, you can choose to get rid of wands that no longer give birth to your energy or flame. If it's no longer catching you on fire, then why are you still holding on to that part of you, that identity? So this falsehood, this idea that we can just let go of, is that just because something served you in the past doesn't mean it still serves you today, right? And at any time, we can choose to lighten our load. We can choose to say, you know what? I love you, soccer. This is for me specifically. I love you, soccer. And maybe I'll pick you up later on in life. But right now, I just don't have the time nor the energy to be on a soccer team. I literally don't have the time or energy. So I don't need that in my box to have to think about, worry about. People depend on me, obligations, have to be there for practice, have to be there for games, got to drive there, drive back, so on and so forth, right? That takes a lot of work, and it's something that drives me. I love soccer. Oh my goodness, I'm enthralled by soccer, but I have other hobbies as well, and with that, a family. It's just one extra thing that I no longer need to focus on right now at this moment in my life. Maybe later it can come back. So the Ten of Wands is trying to get you to recognize that at any time these things can always you can always cull through them, and you can always clean them out. And it's kind of like a spring cleaning, and it doesn't always have to be spring to do it. You can always whittle down your friends list of people who aren't actually your friends, or people who are just stalking you, or just wallflowering. I don't even know if that's a concept, but wallflower you, where they just look at your stuff but they never hit like, right? So please just recognize, in the month of October, go ahead and look at all of your passions. Look at all the things that take up your time and take up your energy, and ask yourself, is this what I still want to put my passion into, or is it something that I can get rid of, and that way a new passion can come into my life in time. All right? So then we have, how do we be productive in all of our physical endeavors? So that could be a new workout routine, that could be a diet, that could be making friends out in that world, it could be working on our side gig, it could be getting new wardrobe, it's aesthetic and a new style, it could be our health, it could be our job or our career. So to be productive in our physical endeavors, we need to focus on the energy of the Nine of Swords in reverse. Right? So the Nine of Swords, as you can see, is a very ghoulish representation. And this woman is up all night putting her hands because she can't face her own fears. She can't face other people's criticisms and other people's judgments. And therefore, she is in bed all night long, staying awake and putting her energy into figments of what could be, but not necessarily reality, right? So these ghouls and all these figments, they're fear, and they're stopping her from doing the thing that she loves, from actualizing her hopes and dreams. Well, we got that in reverse. So that simply means is that we are not letting other people's judgments, other people's fears get in the way of what we are trying to produce in the world. So we want to rebrand ourselves. Okay, well, just I'm going to wipe it off my shoulder here. And I can rebrand myself, and I'm not going to worry about other people's judgments. I want to start a new business. Who cares if there's 30 food trucks? Mine's different because it's going to do this and this and this. And so you believe in yourself, and you have this truth and this conviction, because it's not just logic. You're not just in your head saying, oh, this is going to make me money. Oh, this is going to give me status. Oh, this is going to give me a hot girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. No, you know it's more. To be successful, you need all things running smoothly. And so it's not just your logic, right? It's your emotional capacity. First, it's your spirit saying, we should go in this direction. And then it's your emotional capacity saying, yes, we care about this, and I'm going to put emotional energy into this. And then your brain goes, yeah, logically, that makes sense. I can see how that works for us. And then, boom, you put it into the world, and it becomes something real and tangible. So when you focus only in your logic, only in your head, and that's where you're trying to create things, that's where also you can get trapped, because you are also in your own head, and your head can't make sense of anything else and can't get you out of this fear, because it's not using its heart and it's not using its emotions to try to convince you that these fears are unjustified or unreal or doesn't make sense. But if we think about them for a second and sit with them, we'd recognize that these fears are literally nonsensical, and that they're just holding us back, because that's what fear does. Because fear wants us to simply be comfortable. And anytime you're going into the unknown, you're trying to change something, you're trying to change a habit or a routine or your way of life, then fear is going to stop you simply because you're about to do something that is unknown, something that is not guaranteed results. And that is when fear comes into place. So to be productive in our financial endeavors, our physical endeavors this month, is we just simply recognize that we're more than these fears, we're more than these judgments, and that these things are not going to hold us back, because we're not just using our logic and our reason, but we're also using our intuition, our subconscious, our conscious, our higher conscious. We're using all faculties for ourselves to recognize this truth, and that's why we have conviction in our actions, and that's why we are not going to be subdued by fear. Okay, now harmonizing our emotions. Some days we have bad days. Some days we are so in the forest that we can't see the forest through the trees, right? So what message do we need to harmonize throughout the month of October in 2020? What message do we need to recognize? And it's the Seven of Swords in reverse. Okay, now the Seven of Swords is usually a man trying to take advantage of, trying to pull a fast one, trying to steal from other people, right? So he believes that his logic is not as good as others, and so he's going to usurp other people's ideas and logic to make his sound more favorable, or to put it in prominence above the others. So he's doing things inconspicuously to try to make his ideas be better than or more logical than the other thoughts around. Now, pull this into yourself, and you have too many thoughts going on, all trying to say, I am the thought that makes the most sense. I am the one that you need to follow. And the crazy thing is, all seven of these thoughts all produce the same result, saying logically it all makes sense. But here's the issue. Again, you're only in your head. You're not feeling, and you're not intuitively knowing or understanding the truth. So, to harmonize our emotions, we need to go back and say, I've already been in this stage. I have already gone through my head with all these different ideas and saying I could go here and I could go there, and why don't I just quit, or why am I doing this again? I'm not seeing any results, and you start second guessing yourself, right? So anytime that happens, anytime you start doubting, anytime your emotions flare up and you feel uncontrolled and you're like, what the hell am I doing? I'm a loser. I suck. I don't know. Blah, 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 blah. And you start trying to logically define why you are a fuck up, why you are a failure, why you are messed up, and you're not going to create the beauty and serenity that you want to on earth for yourself because you know it's good. There's Seven of Swords. Come back to it. Say, whoa, settle down, emotions. We've already been through this. I have already made my decision. There's no longer a battle. There's no longer trying to say this idea is better than the other. I have already deliberated and I have already chosen the right path. And you know the right path too. And therefore, we don't need to trick anybody. We don't need to try to make this thought better than the others. And we don't need to pull in these other thoughts and say, hey, think about them all over again. Are you sure you don't want to go in this direction? We don't need that, because I'm no longer just in my head. I'm no longer only using my logic and reason to go in this direction. I am now, honestly, using my faith. Not in faith in higher power, but faith in myself. Faith in that I listened to and heard the right message in myself. And because of that, I am convinced that this is the path before me. And so anytime your emotions in the month of October are getting the best of you, come back to the Seven of Swords, reverse, saying, I don't need to pull up all of the options again. I don't need to convince anybody. I don't need to trick anybody. I don't need to go beat around the bush. I don't need to hide these thoughts and feelings. Like, this is the direction and this is the path and this is where I'm going. This is the truth. This is my vision. And then you enact that. Okay? Because you're no longer in your head. It's not the only thing that serves you. Now you're using it to help get rid of your fears and convince yourself and your body that you are following the path that is right for you, because you're following it from inside, from your heart. Okay? And then finally, what does my spirit, what does it want me to face courageously in the month of October? And that's the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so here we have the Queen of Pentacles. This woman knows how nature works. She is someone of full abundance. She walks with the flow. She is a nature lover, an animal lover. She is giving. She is abundant. She knows how to cook. Her house is clean and it has her own little style and flair that is uniquely her own. And she has maybe animals and a garden, and she's just of the earth and for the earth. And she is the kindest, gentlest soul, and you know, she's smart and she's giving and she's funny and she's compassionate. She's just well balanced, right? So that's going to be interesting. What does my spirit want me to face courageously this month? So either you are experiencing an imbalance, and the idea that maybe the female in your life, or maybe this is you, all right, or something is not feeling one with earth, is not feeling one with their emotions, is not feeling one in their domicile, right? They just feel imbalanced, and there's just too much going on, and they don't feel like they're producing the bounty that the family desires. And so what you need to face courageously is that your bounty, you may be hurting this month because of not taking care of your finances, or not putting balance into all aspects of your life, physical, right, your body and your health, as well as your career, as well as your emotional stability, as well as your mental capacity, as well as friendships. We we're in COVID still. It's been what, over 6 months, and a lot of people are hurting. A lot of people have lost jobs, and the government here is not helping at all. We got the whole, pick yourself up by the bootstrap. And so, your credit may be running low. You may be in dire straits. You may just not see the goodness of what's going on. And you may have money leaving than money coming in. And so your spirit just wants you to recognize that this entity is something that you are going to need to recognize and face courageously. And what I'm getting is that you may have to recognize and live this month based on past actions. I'm not sitting very pretty right now, and I'm hurting because of certain things that I deemed so important that I put money and attention to, and now that money is owed. And you know what, I'm so happy that I put money into that thing because it gave me tenfold benefits. I can't tell you how much happy that I am that I got what I need, but it still is a lot of debt that I'm having to pay. And so this month may be meager for me. This month may be a lot of beans and rice. This month may be a lot of instability in the household where you're trying to find balance with money, trying to find balance with where to put time with your kids, with your spouse, with taking care of the house, taking care of the yard, all of these things. You may just feel imbalanced. You may feel like an emotional wreck. You may feel like you're not in the ebb and flow, and the balance isn't there. All right, and that's okay. That it truly is okay. You will get through this month. Okay, you will get through this month because overall, you have the Four of Pentacles. And it also is reversed. Now, it's a lot of reversed. In fact, all of them are reversed. But if I was going to get any of these being reversed, I definitely like this one being the overall theme of the month. And the Four of Pentacles is someone who believes in scarcity, basically. And they finally have a little bit of something. Let's say you're a teacher and you're making $50,000 a year. You're just out of college, and that's a lot of money. And you're working, and it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of time, and even money is being taken out because you're having to buy for your own supplies and so on and so forth, but you're still making $50,000, and that's still a lot of money. And because of that, you feel so attached to your job and the money that you're making that you just cling to it. And now the idea of giving money at Kroger or Walmart or Tom Thumb or whatever, when asked to donate, you're like, I can barely afford milk for myself, right? And then someone's like, hey, can you go do this on Friday? And you're like, I can't do that. I gotta work, and I got all this effort and time and energy that I gotta do into this job. And the Four of Pentacles is what it's trying to tell you is that the life that you are living is producing and giving you security and structure and a foundation, right? But at a cost, right? Because it's costing you certain freedoms. It's costing you certain things that maybe you could have done when you were in college, or when you had this, or when you had that. But now your life is more structured and limited because this little